Beerus is hands down one of the greatest additions and most popular characters in the Dragon Ball series. A short-tempered god with the appetite relative to a Saiyan, it's easy to see why everyone likes him, not to mention his true power still being an absolute mystery, although we've seen just, a fraction of what he can do already. While being presumably the strongest being in Universe 7 outside of Whis, Beerus holds the authority to eliminate threats to his respective universe that stunt the development of it, and the first real instance we saw of this was him eliminating Zamasu, which took less than any effort at all. Even in his battle with Goku, Beerus admittedly was still leagues above Super Saiyan God Goku, who had only entertained him at best. However, as the story went on, Goku, who was never even a match to begin with for Beerus, progressed with his training, and by the Tournament of Power's conclusion, he had gained a certain power rare even amongst the gods: Ultra Instinct. Just the sight of such an accomplishment by a mortal burned Beerus, as even he had not managed to master such a technique yet, but this mere mortal, who at his best was still not at the level of Beerus, had suddenly skyrocketed to limits unheard of in less than an hour. The legend of the Super Saiyan God, and witnessing an accomplishment like this from a mere Saiyan mortal with his bare eyes, was like a revelation to Beerus that Saiyans truly do have limitless potential. Burning him on the inside, as Goku did what he could not, and this had, to some extent, make Beerus want to get stronger, even if this was just some sort of mistake. However, not having mastered Ultra Instinct yet has been dire for Goku, as the events of the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie prove that there are still those out there stronger than him, even besides just Jiren. People with less refined, raw power. While Broly is by no means the Omni King or anything like that, defeating Golden Frieza, Goku, and Vegeta is no small feat by any means, and from what we saw, maybe this Super Saiyan Uzaru Wrath form thing should be taken more seriously. If Beerus were to counter Broly, someone who dominated both Goku and Vegeta, this may actually be a chance to see what Beerus can really do in showing his true powers past turning an entire planet to dust, since Broly is a juggernaut in his own right. Beerus has been kinda holding back ever since we first met him, however, with the most we've seen of him serious being a Hakai, but the menace he displayed at that time was completely different from most other times we've seen him, and that's pretty much what we see today as well in this original fan work by UHG Animations, as Beerus shows his true final form in an all-out chance encounter. If you guys want to check out the original video for yourselves, the link will be down below in the description box, as well as the link to UHG's channel, so be sure to go check him out. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that notification bell before the video even gets started so you never miss an upload, and be sure to follow me on both Twitch and Twitter for more streams and to keep up with me and all Dragon Ball related content. But without further ado,
I got swords on my back, set my right back. Ninjas with me, niggas, stars at these bitches. Eating ramen noodles in the hood with my niggas.
Beerus vs Broly seems like a once-in-a-lifetime encounter, but possibly not an unlikely one with the hype surrounding the two impossible to go unnoticed. How this would even come about is fairly simple to piece together in my opinion, since both of these beings are committed to Universe 7 in one way or another, and Broly has already seen Earth's soil. However, this battle doesn't take place on Earth at all, and the first thing we see are Beerus and Broly before each other. Broly looks to power up immediately as his body starts to transform and eyes change. He takes on his Uzaru Wrath form, firing off an energy beam at the God of Destruction. It does absolutely nothing, however, as Beerus just teleports out of the way, enraging his opponent, but Broly just charges in, attacking Beerus with a flurry of punches. However, he's just blocking all of them with one hand so easily, and eventually takes a chop to the back of the neck, knocking him down, and Beerus is just standing over him. Broly powers up even more with that terrifying green aura resonating across the battlefield, getting Goku pumped up as well, who's watching the battle with Whis. Broly fires another giant ki blast at Beerus, who once again knocks it away easily, and it's starting to look like right now, nothing is working against the god. Now on the offense, Beerus creates a few orbs of ki around him, similarly to how he did in the past against Goku, and he unleashes numerous blasts at Broly, who's trying his best to avoid them all, but eventually he does take a hit. After dealing really no damage at all and being clearly overpowered by Beerus, Broly takes it a step further after receiving that last attack and being consumed with rage. He turns into that monstrous, berserk Super Saiyan again. Beerus seems to be taking this just a bit more seriously now that Broly's power has eclipsed even where Goku was during their last match, as the two clash again, but this time, things seem just a bit more even. Beerus is able to gain the upper hand on Broly once more and he sends him flying into the ground below, but this is when Broly responds with a massive energy ball overhead, but Beerus looks to counter this attack with a sphere of destruction of his own. When they fire, the two attacks begin to rupture the very dimension that they find themselves in, with each fighter going to their limits to best the other. But Broly's rage just keeps increasing by the second. The two attacks eventually implode amongst one another, shattering the dimensional fabric around them, but the battle doesn't miss a step, with Beerus and Broly continuing to clash in the broken continuum. Broly at some point is able to grab Beerus and sling him around like a ragdoll for some time, however, embarrassing the God of Destruction, as really no one has ever humiliated him like this before, and this, among a body riddled with broken bones from that attack, is what does it. Beerus snaps, raising his head in absolute anger as his eyes turn blank purple. His energy explodes and the properties of his aura begin to change drastically. Beerus erupts in rage and power as, almost symbolic of the original Broly, his very silhouette seems to explode from the transformation, but his energy seems to level the entire planet in the process, with such a transformation never even heard of before, resulting in this final form for Beerus. Beerus has gone berserk at this point, losing all sense of self-control and taking on a form and power that no one, not even Goku, could have seen coming, as he returns to the battlefield looking to settle the score with his opponent finally. Raising his power even more, Broly's ready for the last showdown, but Beerus' first attack is filled with the energy of destruction as it looks to completely erase Broly, but he's able to dodge it just in time. Broly then breathes fire all over his opponent, which may have actually worked against a good amount of fighters, but singeing the God of Destruction seems to do nothing but anger him when the flames clear. Broly then tries once more to clash with the god, but whatever happened to Beerus is unbelievable, as a once close match has now gone almost completely in favor of the Immortal, as we see no longer able to even land a finger on him. A point blank Ki Blast attack, however, may change that, as Broly releases a chunk of his power as well. However, when the blast leaves and the smoke clears, this has done absolutely nothing to Beerus as well, leaving Broly seemingly out of options. Beerus prepares another attack filled with the energy of destruction and sends it towards Broly, who is unable to dodge as the attack grows larger and larger, and then it just engulfs him. This new form of Beerus proves to be too much for the Super Saiyan, as the energy of destruction reduces him to fodder on the ground, but Beerus isn't quite finished yet, and it seems that neither is Broly. In one last-ditch effort at survival and victory, Broly champions himself to his feet one more time, pouring all of his energy into one final attack, raising his hand over his head, creating another massive energy ball. He fires it at the God of Destruction, who looks to intercept it with his own attack as he charges his energy, and we see that his aura is becoming more and more violent around him. In an instant, one Hakai is enough to reduce Broly's final attack to nothing, complete non-existence before his very eyes, but Beerus has gone completely berserk, and in the process, his Hakai also erases Broly and everyone nearby as well, including the planet. Thankfully though, a quick rewind by Whis is able to remedy the situation just in time, as he brings us to the point just before Beerus' Hakai, but instead of allowing the fight to go on, Whis steps in, aggravated now, and knocks Beerus out cold, reducing him back to his original form and saving them all from a raging god Hakaiing everything. If Beerus and Broly were to ever meet, I'm honestly not sure how long the battle would be, because in my opinion, I don't really think someone even like Broly can hang with Beerus no matter what he did in the movie, but then you would be able to argue about Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta as well, I guess. However, if a final form for Beerus was in the cards, and if it's anything like what we saw here today, then I think it's pretty safe to say that Beerus will stay leagues above all of the mortals. That's just out of the question. But I will say I think there have been subtle hints in Dragon Ball Super about potentially more power for Beerus, as we saw his reaction to Goku in the Tournament of Power, as well as Whis having to subdue him due to him getting too wild before. If Beerus does have some sort of true power, we probably won't see it in an arc like this in Dragon Ball Super, since the God Realm is kind of, I guess, on strike from Universe 7, and any bias interference is forbidden, but what else could possibly push Beerus to this point for us to see what he could really do? Until Goku gets his rematch with Beerus using Ultra Instinct, I think a villain amongst the God Realm may be our only chance to see just what any of the Immortals can do, even Beerus at this point, as Beerus doesn't seem to be getting too involved with things anytime soon. But regardless of any of that, I feel like a sort of Hakaishin-like transformation would be super cool in the series. That's gonna do it for this one, guys. Thanks so much for watching until the end. As always, if you made it this far, I really hope you all enjoyed. Broly vs Beerus is actually a pretty popular topic since the Broly movie, and I feel like there has to be, a good consensus agreement that Beerus wins at the end of the day, even though there are a ton of different scenarios that could happen with guys these strong. And the outcome of Beerus being just absolutely pushed to his limits like this to a new transformation is just insane, so huge props to UHG Animations for his creative works. Down below in the comment section, I'm actually going to ask you guys a really interesting question. Who do you think would win if Broly teamed up with Goku and Vegeta against this form of Beerus that we saw here? I think if it was a fight like that, it would be a lot more even, but I mean, who knows? If you guys want to check out the original project for yourselves, the link to the original video as well as UHG's channel will be linked down below in the description box. Also, before we get out of here, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss the best Dragon Ball content dropping, and if you are enjoying the videos, consider leaving a like as well. Also, don't forget to follow me on both Twitch and Twitter to keep up with me and all Dragon Ball related content. But anyways, have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys.